Crimson moon, crimson fears. The sky bled. A crimson moon, fat and heavy, ascended the throne of night. Its light, tainted with the colour of spilled wine, painted the sleepy village of Hollow Creek in hues of dread. Shadows stretched, twisted, mimicking monstrous creatures lurking just beyond the reach of the flickering oil lamps. An unnatural chill settled upon the village, seeping into the very bones of its inhabitants. Old Man Hemlock, weathered face etched with the wisdom and worries of countless seasons, pointed a gnarled finger at the scarlet moon. "The blood moon," he rasped, voice a dry wind through dead leaves. "It has returned." A shiver, independent of the cold, snaked down his spine. He had seen this only once before, as a child, and the memories still clawed at the edges of his sanity. This night, he knew, would be painted in shades of crimson and terror. Whispers of a blood-soaked past, legends whispered of a time before memory, a time when the earth was young and the veil between worlds thin. It spoke of an entity, ancient and hungry, imprisoned beneath the earth, bound by a pact forged in blood and sacrifice. The pact, whispered the elders, was linked to the cycles of the blood moon. When the celestial tapestry aligned just so and the moon bled red, the entity stirred. Tonight, the entity felt the resonance of the blood moon, a siren call across the gulf of eons. It stirred in its slumber, ancient power rippling outward like a seismic wave. The whispers grew louder, the air itself thick with the promise of unspeakable horrors. Fear, primal and suffocating, seeped from the shadows, a harbinger of the nightmare about to unfold. The silence before the storm breaks. An unnerving silence fell upon Hollow Creek. The crickets, which usually serenaded the night with their chirping symphony, went silent. The wind, previously a playful caress against the thatched roofs, stilled, holding its breath. Even the leaves seemed to cease their rustling, as if the forest itself was holding its breath, bracing for an unseen tempest. The villagers, sensing the shift in the atmosphere, retreated into their homes, barring doors and shuttering windows. Fear, thick and cloying, hung heavy in the air. Mothers clutched their children, whispering prayers to absent gods. Strong men, their faces pale and drawn, gripped crude weapons, their hearts pounding a frantic tattoo against their ribs. Tonight, the line between reality and nightmare blurred, and they were all caught in the in-between. When shadows dance with dread, the first sign came with a blood-curdling scream that tore through the stillness. Old Widow Mallory, her eyes wide with terror, pointed a trembling finger at the well in the village square. The water, once pristine and clear, bubbled ominously, stained a grotesque crimson. Then, from its depths, something emerged. Shadows danced with newfound malice, stretching and twisting, morphing into grotesque parodies of animals and men. The creatures, spawned from the darkest corners of nightmare, stalked the village, their eyes burning with an unholy fire. Doors were ripped from their hinges, windows shattered, the screams of the villagers swallowed by the night. The price of forgotten sins. Terror reigned supreme as the creatures rampaged through Hollow Creek. The entity, its power amplified by the blood moon, reveled in the chaos. It fed on the fear, growing stronger with each whimper, each scream. The villagers, their pleas for mercy drowned out by the cacophony of horror, were helpless against the onslaught. Men fought bravely, only to be torn limb from limb. Women huddled with their children, whispering desperate prayers that went unanswered. The cobblestone streets, once bustling with life, ran slick with blood, reflecting the crimson moon in a macabre dance of death. The old pact, long forgotten, was being repaid in the most horrific way imaginable. A dawn painted red. As the first rays of dawn pierced the veil of darkness, the creatures retreated, melting back into the shadows from whence they came. The blood moon, its hunger sated for now, retreated behind the horizon, its crimson light fading into a pale, sickly yellow. The village of Hollow Creek stood silent, a testament to the horrors of the night. The survivors, their eyes haunted by the horrors they had witnessed, emerged from their hiding places. The village, once a beacon of warmth and life, was now a graveyard shrouded in the stench of death and despair. The blood moon may have set, but the scars of that night, both physical and psychological, would forever stain the souls of those who survived. The entity, though dormant, still lurked beneath the earth, awaiting the next crimson moon when it could once again unleash its unspeakable horrors upon the world.